Hey everybody, welcome to our One Funnel Away Challenge review. This is let's see, what day is this, Franco? Do you remember?
This is week 2, mission 1.
Yeah, so,
So, it,
yeah, so I
so
think
that,
this video is going to cover days 13 through 15, I believe. The last time we recorded was Friday,
yep.
right? So for those of you that have been watching along, if you haven't, you go watch the previous videos. But what we're essentially going to do is we're chronicling our One Funnel Away Challenge journey here. I'm Frank. This is Franco.
Hi, guys.
And, we started this journey with pretty much no idea, no business, and we made a lot of progress last week. You can see that in our previous video, how we really feel like we've targeted, we've got an idea and a concept for a business that we really wanted to, focus on and build out. So we're excited about that. And then Saturday and Sunday were essentially not catch-up days, but they were finishing our what we had to do from the challenge, which is basically figure out what content assets we were going to create in our offer. So we spent most of the week kind of talking about that, even though it was Mother's Day. We have a nice list of about 5 or 6 different written assets that we're going to include in our offer, some audio assets, and also some video assets that are going to combine in different parts of our funnel. So we're pretty excited about that. We're in the process of getting those created. In terms of the ebook covers and things, we're going through Fiverr for that. And then, creating whatever content that we think we can create ourselves. That's what the weekend was about. And then today, like Franco said, is day 1 of week 2. And week 2 is all about our hook and our story. So today's mission was all about publishing and the importance of publishing and publishing consistently, finding your voice, and really talking about publishing in a way that you're comfortable with, in a way where your audience is already at. So if they like written, publishing written. If they like video or audio, doing that. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good lesson. They really laid out different ways where you could repurpose content. So we'll have Franco kind of go through some of Julie's lessons and some of the specifics they get out. But it was pretty good content.
Yeah, hi everybody. Like I said, what Frank said, all this week's today is all about publishing, and then the hook and the story. And Julie briefly talked about kind of figuring out what platform is going to be best for you, right? For the entrepreneur or for your business. And she went over a couple of things. For instance, Facebook Live, for instance, your audience is going to be anywhere from 30 to 50 years old. It's mostly people or entrepreneurs. You're really not going to get big corporations really using that. You want to make sure if you're doing a Facebook Live, you're going to be dressed every day, looking professional or neat. Lots of high energy. You want to make sure you have a lot of visual cues or sharing your screen. And they said, which I thought was real helpful too, which I never thought of. One good example she said is you can use one of your live examples and actually use that as an ad on Facebook, which I thought was a great, easy idea, okay? Then she said, if you're already a podcaster and you feel more comfortable with that, the podcast, you're going to get your long commuters use that a lot. People that value education, and your audience is probably between 25 and 40 years old. These are for people that maybe you're not ready for the camera. Okay, maybe you're a great speaker, but you just really, camera shy, which is fine. You really don't need visual cues to explain what you're trying to do. That's really important. Okay, if you cannot explain what your topic and you need some type of visual cue or screen, then maybe podcast is not the way to go. She talked about something called that I've never heard of before, medium.com, which is really for blogging. Okay, she says there, even though maybe I don't like to read, right? But maybe my audience does. Okay, so you want to give a little bit of everything. It's not always what I feel comfortable with also. And which basically was, your audience likes to read, things that people would type into Google, any type. If you're good at evoking emotion when you're writing, okay, then that's something you should be using for medium.com. And then Instagram, so it kind of was a combination of a little bit of everything, except it's a younger demographic between 15 to 40, or they have real niche markets or lots of visual cues. You want to make sure you're using a lot of photos, writings, videos, and the benefit of it really, which is you're using everything, basically live stream, video, intimacy of podcasting, and visual combos all together that you would get on medium.com, which I thought was really, really helpful. For those that haven't watched some of our other videos, I'm totally new into this space. So this really broke it down for me, and that's really what Julie really talked about. Frank, anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things, guys, for those of you that are not in One Funnel Away Challenge, hearing publishing and Russell literally throws it out. He's like, I'm going to ask you to publish in whichever way you want, and literally every day. He wants you to publish every day for a year, right? I think if you can't do that, and that might be extreme, I think the point is well taken. It's all about consistency. The more you can get your message out to your audience, the more you'll find and better your voice, right? So he gives an analogy about comedians, right? And it's like, we see the big HBO special. He didn't say HBO special, but whatever, the big stage special, right? And all their jokes hit, and it's amazing. And they're like, oh, this guy's the funniest guy ever, right? But he talks about the analogy of how those guys have to grind it out in little dive bars, right? Kind of perfecting their act. And maybe they hit, they try 10 jokes, maybe 2 hit and the other 8 fail, and they get rid of those 8. And the next time they carry over the 2 that work, and they find another one that works, and they keep doing that. And then when you see them on the big stage, it's like their whole act like hits, right? And he kind of says, that's not just for them. It's a lot of people that see on the big stage. It's like part of showing that journey and that progression is what shows not only authenticity to your crowd, which is totally true, right? No one wants to just see you when you're on the top of the hill, but they also want to see the person progress and learn through your journey. So don't be afraid of that. But he says the importance of publishing every day in whatever medium that you're going to do, whether it's written, audio, or video, is really important, because that's the only way you can perfect and find your voice. So that was really important. That was key part of the training. And then, also don't get overwhelmed, right? Stephen laid out kind of what his content strategy is, and he has a big team. It costs him about $20,000 to $30,000 a month now, he said, in his content team, because they're literally creating a ton of content and repurposing across all these different platforms and mediums. And he's got people that are kind of, some people will strip out the content and repurpose it. Other people will SEO it for whatever platform it is. You don't have to start that crazy, right? Me and Franco are already talking about this, and we haven't hit on anything, but we're kind of leading towards a combo of a consistent blog, right, for SEO purposes, something that we can build out ourselves, not necessarily on Medium, but on our own site, right? Medium is going to be an advantage. You're going to go on, you're going to post an article, and there's already an audience, right? That's a good thing. If you build out your own blog, you can get organic traffic. I've built out a few sites that have some organic traffic without link building or anything, and I think that could work really well for what we're going to do. So I think we're going to do that so we can have a consistent publishing schedule there. And then, we're just deciding, is that going to be written words that we're going to write or outsource, or is it going to be video that we're going to then rip out the audio, be able to repurpose into a podcast, and also get the text transcribed. They give you a couple of really great companies that you can get audio transcribed. Rev.com, which Franco and I have used before for something, which works really good. That's about $1 a minute. But then they brought up Temi, which I never heard of before, and that's 10 cents a minute. So the key is don't get overwhelmed and think you have to start this media empire, right? Or spend all this money. It just matter of being consistent, finding your voice. And, they talk a lot about, you can pretty much outsource everything. You can outsource your funnel being built. You just can't really outsource becoming the attractive character behind your business, right? So that was a concept they spent a lot of time talking about. If you want to start a movement, one of the main things you need is that attractive character people want to follow. And don't be afraid if you're not that end product yet. It's just get in a publishing schedule, learn to tell your message. People will gravitate to you as you continue to publish, and you'll find your voice. Your audience will find you, right? And, if you do that consistently for a year, like Russell says, he's like, I challenge you to come back in a year and not say that you've hit whatever impact goals and income goals you want to hit. So I do kind of believe that, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of was going to be our concept when we did this One Funnel Away Challenge. We wanted to publish every day for you guys, just so you guys could kind of see what was going on. And so it's kind of the same concept, right? We're kind of saying this is what's working, this is what's not. Don't be afraid to not apply that same tactic to whatever business you're in, and kind of show you're reporting what you're doing, right? They go through the journey with you. People like that stuff. So anything you want to add, Franco?
Yeah, just basically kind of just to hit the same thing what Frank just said. One of the other tidbits Stephen hit on his coaching call basically was a top client story, which basically was he used to share an office with Russell. And, you know, when he was working for ClickFunnels, Russell would be talking to all these top companies and executives and say, you know, we will do everything for you. We will run Facebook ads, you know, SEO. We will create your funnel. We will outsource whatever we need to take care of. I only have one request for you to do. And everybody was listening. He goes, the only request is that you must Facebook Live every single day. He goes, it's a must. That's what you must do. And Stephen was like, I can't believe he's saying this. And Russell said, there's a reason why. He goes, what it does is your audience starts to change. They start to believe in you, right? All about the attractive character, and it starts to build a relationship. And then he said it also starts changing the entrepreneur or the business person, because now you start to build some type of empathy for your audience, and you know they have empathy if you do bad, but if you do really well, they're excited, they're cheering for you. So I thought that was a pretty cool story that Russell, who's making over $100 million, talking to the top companies, saying that they even have to go to Facebook Live, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it wasn't so much the platform, because platforms change, right? Facebook might not be a thing in 20
Right.
years, but the concept, it's like if you want to reach your audience and you want that to grow, the more you're out there, the more that's going to happen. So it makes total sense. It's not exactly rocket science, but it's also to do it and to do it consistently and get past your own fears and kind of push yourself to grow if you're not into videos or speaking publicly or what have you. I mean, that's the challenge, right? So it's, he talks about how the first 30 or 40 podcasts he had were really, really bad when he started doing marketing secrets, right? Or marketing from the car, or his podcast. And then you could see the kind of the shift as he found his voice. And so that's the thing. I think it's, don't be afraid if you're not a polished, finished product. It's being able to kind of embrace that and bring people along on the journey, which I think everyone can resonate with, right? No matter where you are in your journey, there's always somewhere to go from there. And it's just like you start chronicling that, you're going to find people that are interested in that messaging. So that's all I got. I mean, today, so the takeaway tonight is, guys, is we got to finalize kind of exactly what we were talking about is, what does that publishing schedule look like? What exactly type of content are we gonna commit to doing over the next year, right? As we build this company out, this funnel, right? Because your company is not a funnel. So we have to commit to something that works for our audience and works for our messaging, and something that we can also pull off, right? So I think that's kind of the homework we have tonight, Franco, is figuring out exactly what that publishing schedule is going to look like, what medium we're going to commit to. We don't have to necessarily know all the hook of the story or all the content right now. It's just a matter of picking one, which is nice. Again, speaks to them chunking out what you need to do and making it bite size, which is good. Yeah. So guys, thanks for watching. That's all we have here. There'll be links below to the One Funnel Away Challenge affiliate link if you want to hit that. If you decide you want to join, much appreciated. There's also some free books and stuff that ClickFunnels and content that they give away. You can click on those and subscribe and like the video if you like it. Give it a thumbs up, and that way we'll keep putting them out way past the 30-day challenge, because the good stuff should really happen as we start to build out this company with the basis and foundation we build here. Hopefully we'll be coming back 2 years from now and being like, hey, this is a really successful company that we built because of the One Funnel Away Challenge, right? And if not, hopefully you guys can all learn from our mistakes. So that's all I have. Thank you for watching.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, guys.